Titus Lee is going to prison, perhaps for the rest of his life. It took a jury only 3 hours to convict Lee for the violent attack on a UNCW couple back in 2016. WECT's Michael Prats followed the testimony and today's verdict. Have we heard from the victims yet, Michael?
We did, John. One of them had the final say in today's proceedings, having suffered for years following this brutal attack. She may now get some closure. What was nearly a 5-year nightmare was wrapped up in less than a month in court. The trial of Titus Lee was filled with testimony from not only victims, but from Lee himself. Ultimately, the evidence was too strong, the prosecution too convincing, and the jury found Lee guilty of beating, raping, kidnapping, and robbing a Wilmington couple in 2016. The sentencing came next.
That defendant be in prison for a minimum of 240 months, maximum 348 months in the custody of the North Carolina Division of Adult Corrections and Youth Justice.
That's a maximum of 29 years in prison. Lee got that sentence 6 times, which must be spent back to back, meaning Lee will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars. Reliving the attack was a difficult thing for the victims, but before sentencing, one of the victims was able to address the court and Lee one last time.
I would like you to know that the man sitting in that seat over there is responsible for my life being significantly harder than it was ever supposed to be. My innocence is now gone. I found myself harboring feelings of uncertainty and fear just by doing small things like going to the store or meeting a friend for dinner. Things that are supposed to be easy are now hard because I'm constantly looking over my shoulder, expecting a man like him to be behind me.
The crimes are horrific and undoubtedly life-changing, but she had one last thing to say to her attacker.
Although it's been no easy journey, this failed attempt at stealing my joy will not stop me from growing into the best version of myself.
Now, if Lee does ever get out of prison, the judge did order him to register as a sex offender for the rest of his natural life. He'll also be required to be electronically monitored by GPS or satellite monitoring systems for the rest of his life as well. John?
All right, Michael, thanks for the update.